In this video, I'm going to save you years of just spinning around, spinning your wheels, doing nothing, trying to change your reality but not going anywhere. I'm gonna save you literally years of researching, of trial and error. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and focus on what I'm about to tell you because this will shift your reality to a better one. And hopefully, when you implement all these techniques, starting from today, starting from right now, you will start to see some changes. And all of a sudden, you will find yourself in your desired reality. I want you to pay close attention to this. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will run your life, and you will call it fate. How many times you've seen people that have been struggling all along, and they always say that it's because of an external factor. Carl Jung said that until you make the unconscious conscious, it will run your life and you will call it fate. Because your day-to-day activities is governed, 95% of it, by your subconscious mind. And only 5% is by the conscious mind. So until you actually know what's inside of you, what's in the subconscious mind, what do you consent to be true about yourself and about your world, you will start to blame everything but yourself. The very first step that you should do is actually take accountability and be aware that everything that you are experiencing, consciously or unconsciously, is because of your beliefs. Your beliefs are actually the thing that is ruining, your life. You said that your life is ruined, but it's not. You can change it. There are infinite amount of parallel realities. All you have to do is just change the dial, the frequency dial, and all of a sudden you have a certain quality, and all of a sudden you are in resonance with all the things that are in the same frequency, and all of a sudden your life is getting better and better and better. And sometimes decades can pass by and nothing is happening. And sometimes everything happens. Decades happen in just few weeks. And this is the power, the inner power within you. You should know that when you reprogram your subconscious mind, when you reprogram how you think and how you feel, when you have a modified state of being and you stay long enough in that modified state of being until it becomes a software program in your body, you think, you act, you feel as if you are already the person that you want to be, then you will realize that it was you all along. This is why in all doctrines and religions, you will find out that they tell you nothing will change unless you change. You are the turning point. The universe is within you, and it's being projected out from within you. You cannot fight with the outer world. You cannot fight with the mirror because it's not smiling at you. You gotta smile first. There is a time delay sometimes, but it doesn't mean that you give up. It can take one day, it can take 1 week, it can take 1 month. It doesn't matter. All it matters is you gotta change what do you feel about yourself. You gotta change what you feel about your own self. What do you consent to be true about your world? And let me tell you something. First, when you change, you will feel like the old frequency is trying to hold you back. It's trying to get you back. This is why we should utilize the principle of polarity from the Hermetic teachings. When you feel like the old frequency is trying to hold you back, you stay on the other end of the spectrum. So if you are feeling like sadness is trying to pull you towards it, you stay in an area or you focus on an area of your life that is making you happy. You are staying grateful for the things that you have. And this is why gratefulness is one of those things that will make you feel better all the time. Because we want the things that we want because these things will give us a certain feeling. So you are aware that sometimes the polarities can be shifted towards negativity. So all of a sudden you are just like, you know what? I'm not going negative here. I'm going positive. So you are acknowledging the existence of that, but you are not entertaining it. You're not entertaining that. I'm not about all that. I'm optimistic. I'm going there. I just saw that there is some sadness or something trying to pull me to the old frequency. But once you pass that test, once you pass that obstacle, and it's not an obstacle, but it's just the way it is. It's just a natural law. So you are just bypassing it by staying in that reality that you desire. You are faithful to your assumption, per se. You are faithful to your inner state of being. You know that with God, everything is possible. You are not self-reliant on the senses anymore. You are dependent on faith. You are dependent on the 99% that you don't see. Because this world that we are seeing is less than 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. And I told you that for months, guys. All you have to do, you have to choose which reality you want to be in. How would you feel were you already the man or the woman that you want to be? You are bypassing the idea of sequence of events and you are going straight to the end. You don't ask how, why, when. You don't care about all of that. You go to the end. And the end is where you begin. This is what Neville Goddard said. He's a great guy. The end is where you begin. You visualize a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. If you can't visualize or you feel like you can't because you can, maybe try to hear things in your imagination. Hear people congratulating you. Hear the things that you would hear where your desired reality is already an accomplished fact. This is training your mind, creating new neural pathways in your brain. You are literally reprogramming your subconscious mind. And this is why I think and I believe that techniques are tools. You make them work. You make them work by embodying the state, by getting emotional and getting the feeling of acceptance that it is done. When you are in that state and you have this emotional charge with that reality that you want and you are feeling it to be true, all of a sudden, when you open up your eyes, you'll feel like, hey, I experienced it. You won't need to go there and try to do something. You will feel like it's already an accomplished fact. It will get to the point that you won't look for it. It will look for you. And all of a sudden, you will wake up under compulsion sometimes to do certain things that you wouldn't normally do, to meet certain people that you wouldn't normally meet. All of a sudden, the world around you will just reflect to you what you did internally. You experienced it internally, so you don't care because you experienced it. And you are in that state of peace and calmness, and you are in that state of acceptance that it is done. And when you are in that state, expect miracles because you experienced it already. So you won't be looking for it. You go to the next thing. Maybe you just enjoy. Maybe you just sit in silence. And this is one of the things. This is one of the things. Be still and know that I am God. You are becoming in connection with the divine. You are becoming in connection with the source when you are silent. When you are just meditating, doing nothing but just sitting down and let your thoughts run wild, and then you tune down the frequency or the volume. You are lowering the volume until all of a sudden, bam, stillness, calmness. There is nothing. Calmness. You are one with the one. And in that state, you feel like you are in peace. You are so peaceful. Everything is all right. You don't need to panic. You're just sitting there in peace. And this is one of the things. When you are in peace, this is one of the feelings that you would have were your desired reality an accomplished fact. So there are certain feelings that are common with every single desire, that if you embody that feeling all the time, then everything that you will ever want will just come to you naturally. And you will feel like you are not doing anything. For example, when an artist is just drawing for maybe 20 hours, he won't tell you that he's tired. He's enjoying that. And this is the thing. When you are in a state of flow and you are doing the things because it's natural to you, you won't feel like you are doing any work if it is necessary. And this is one of the key, guys. I want you to not label everything as negative, like hard work or anything like that. Sometimes people are working hard, and when you ask them, they will tell you, hey, I'm just having fun. Because they are under compulsion to do certain tasks, and they are not feeling any pressure from it because they experienced what they want to experience internally first. So I want you to think about that, and I want you to do that. And one of the ways to reprogram the subconscious mind is to stack up the wins. I told you guys about that. So in this physical reality, when you say something, you do it. This will build up the confidence. Another thing that you can do is visualize small things to build the confidence in your ability to actually consciously create the things that you are experiencing in your life. This is one of the ways to do it. Imagine a baby blue car. Imagine a red balloon. Imagine a lady with a green dress. whatever it might be. Just have fun with it. And yield completely to the idea that when you are imagining something, and to the point that you experienced it internally, you let go and let God. You give it to the I amness within you, to the light within you, to the divine within you, in the knowing that it is done. Not in doubt, in the knowing that it is done. And you go about your day. This is the key to it. And this is why techniques are so important, but at the same time, you make them work. When you are faithful to your assumption, to your visualization, to your imaginal act, to your affirmations, whatever it might be. And this is why I made my ebook. All the techniques are there. You can check it in the link in the description box. But all I'm going to tell you right now is stay faithful to your assumption. And once you feel like you are at the pinnacle of that feeling, the peak feeling of that it is done, the acceptance of the fact that it is done, then you know that you did it. And sometimes it might take a few times. Sometimes you might do it every day until one day you will wake up and be like, it is done. I don't need to do it anymore. I experienced it last night, for example. So stay faithful to your assumption. Have faith in yourself and in God. And have faith that whatever you want already exists. Whatever you want. Or you won't even be thinking about it if it doesn't exist. Until next video, I'll see you soon. Done.